Hey, glad you can join me again. So, what I've been working on, I've kind of already got started. I didn't really start shooting video because actually I'm trying to learn this as I go. I've never done any segmented wood turnings, but that's what we've got here. I've already got a couple rings made. I did make a segment board here. Now this is the one with the double. I didn't show how to make this. Again, I was kind of learning as I was going, but there's plenty of videos out there on how to make these. You can make them either with a single or double. The nice thing about the double is that if you got one square edge and your other edge is not, you keep that same edge against the fence, where on the flipping, you're relying on two different edges for your square. So, all right, we're gonna cut a bunch of segments for our next ring here. Just a stop block here. So my next one, just go online, you can find a calculator. So this one's 2 7/8 to make my next ring, which doesn't matter for whatever you're doing. 15-degree angle. So we'll get going here, and like I said, we'll just be using the double sides here. So. All right, to flatten my rings before I glue them up, I just went and got some 12-inch sandpaper, built a little MDF backer, and then onto the 12-inch faceplate that came with this machine here. All right, so the next thing after we get all our rings made and sanded flat on the sides is to glue them together. I don't have any, since these are my kind of my first segment bowls to make, I don't have it pressed or anything like that. A lot of people, I noticed, glue these up on the lathe itself, but I don't have that centering ring there. So all I did is mark 4 sides with the center mark on those, and then once I line those up on the lines down here, if you get all 4 of those lined up, then you'll be centered. Okay, so we'll set those on there. All right, so we got it all clamped down. We'll just let that set probably a good, maybe 15-20 minutes, and then that'll be strong enough to hold it together, and then we'll glue the next one. Just keep going up. All right, we're just going to continue up to the next ring. All right, we got the rings all glued up. Next, we're just going to glue the bottom on. And then we'll also have to glue on a scrap block to attach to the faceplate. All right, so the last thing we're going to do is just glue a piece of, I've been using plywood, it comes off easy. This will be our scrap piece that we can put our faceplate on. So now I just drill a hole in the middle with my X that I've marked center of this board. That always get lined up. then we'll just put a little glue, not a lot, because we got to get this thing off, so it's probably plenty to hold it. All right, we got our bowl all glued up. Just got a scrap piece of wood on here. Now we're gonna screw on a faceplate, 4-inch faceplate. Gonna put one screw to start with, and then put on the lathe to get it centered up, and then I'll put the rest of them in there and just make sure I got it turning straight. All right, so I just readjusted my faceplate a little bit, so now we got it pretty good. This is just a 12-inch lathe, so that's all I've got room for. I'm trying to make 12-inch bowls, so. All right, I already knocked the plywood piece off. It's nice using plywood because it just peels right off real easy. Now we're going to take this part down here. Normally you can just take that and turn your lathe, but my lathe's not big enough to chuck this up. So I just built this little router template here, table. Set my router in it. And then we'll just take this out. All right, so we got this project all finished up. This is like I said earlier in the video, this is the first time I've ever done segmented bowls. So one of the things you're gonna need is some way to cut your angles. You can build a sled like this. There's plans online. There's also, you can buy these little pieces here to set them up. They work pretty good, but I found that if you just get you a little digital square like this, you can set your angles here. To set your angles up, you just do it how many pieces you want. Like I did on mine, I did 12 segments. So you have to double that for your angle. So it's 360 degrees divided by the segments times 2. So it'd be divided by 24, which gives you 15 degrees on that. And then, like I said, with this little digital square here, it's easy once you get your little fence built. You build this a little bit long put your runner in here and then cut this square, and then you can use this to set your fences. The other thing I added on here is a couple clamps. It's kind of nice once you get to the short ends. I just picked these up at Harbor Freight. They're kind of nice to hold down the end pieces here at the very end when you get close to the end of the board. So that's a couple of things you're gonna need. You're gonna do segmented bowls. So we start off, got our first bowl built here. I just did a solid bottom, cut the bottom out, okay? And then, like I say, practice makes perfect, so did a second one, third, fourth, and then I went to making the bottom segmented, okay? Did this part here on the CNC, just engraved by the name and my logo in there. Of course, hand wash only, just make sure people don't put these in dishwasher. So this is segmented bottom, okay? So we made 4 of those regular ones, then we made a couple of segmented bottoms. And then we went to doing some color in them, okay? So this is walnut, again, segmented bottom, and then the top ring. And then we moved to some Padauk. So this is Padauk wood top. This one here, I just had a couple of scraps. First one I did, just did kind of a little cross in the middle there. And then we did another one, kind of like the walnut one. Again with the bottom. And one final bowl, another one with Padauk on top, kind of similar to that one. This here I just did the 4 pieces on the inside. So there's a lot of bowls, 10 bowls made. Probably the hardest part is just getting the segments made, glued up. Once you get these on the lathe, I think I timed myself there one time to get it cut out on the lathe, probably 30 minutes or so. Probably spent more time sanding than I did actual cutting. So guys, appreciate you again. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.